All right, guys, if you are still awake, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm coming at you. And I'm here live for my live review of the 2019 Royal Rumble pay per view. Before we get started, of course, I know the thing about this show, of course, this show was long. I don't understand why, of course. I mean, this is a little bit of a rant got thrown here. WWE seriously has to reconsider the structure of their shows in some ways. Not just the fact that, this show was just too long in general. This show was almost 5 hours. Well, not including the pre-show, 7 hours that would have been, if you include the pre-show. But, it's a little inconsiderate to think, you had fans coming to these shows that you're advertising from 7 till 11 or something like that. Or your WrestleMania was 7 to midnight or whatever you're going to say. The fact that you're going to overkill on this, though, just kind of stings in general. It kind of it makes you feel that WWE just does not give a shit, about your expectations. Oh, the show's running longer. Okay, we're not gonna give a crap. We have all your money. That's all we care about. That is definitely, in my part, a little bit of a slap in the face. I gotta say with that. But here's the thing. Aside from the duration, the overkill, the long show, I can still say I had fun watching this show. There's only one match I gotta say that I did not really enjoy on this show. Surprisingly, I thought that match was gonna be the tag title match. But that was actually a solid match, I thought. I actually did kind of enjoy that match. The match that I did not really enjoy was the WWE Championship match. That was a match. Here's my thing. The card structure also, they could have changed something around a little bit. I knew they were probably going to have, the Women's Rumble third on the card. Start off with Becky and Asuka was the right idea to go. But personally, I still feel that SmackDown tag title match should have been the cool down match, the match after the Women's Rumble, in my opinion, and put the WWE title match before the Women's Rumble match. May have had better reception. Well, I don't know if I could say if it was better, because to me, that match did kind of disappoint me a little bit. Or I don't know. I just felt like, a WWE title match immediately following what I thought was a strong Women's Rumble match for sure. To me, it just felt like it just, it was not the right structure. I mean, I can't really fully, say, it was not the right thing to do, because the outcome still looked like what happened at the end of that match. Also, I was scratch my head about it and whatnot. But overall, guys, I gotta say, I did enjoy the show. I thought it was fun. I mean, I know it was long, and that is definitely roadkill. And it is definitely a little inconsiderate WWE to definitely, overkill on these shows, which is, of course, why I keep saying that WWE seriously should consider not having all dual branded pay-per-views, because it hurts pay-per-views like this and doesn't make it feel special, of course. And it takes away from a lot more, but we'll talk about that again another time. Let's talk about this show in general, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Things were done right on this show. The right people won the matches as far as I'm considered. Let's see here. Over one. I'm not counting that Raw tag. I did not. I only checked out the Cruiserweight Championship match on the pre-shows. So I was wrong about the U.S. title match. I didn't even predict anything for a Raw tag title match. So I don't have to count that. So I was over one, 1 for 2, 2 for 3, 3 for 4. I'll say I was half correct for the Women's Rumble. 3.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 6. I feel like I'm missing one. 5.5 out of 7. I pretty much was right about everything except for the U.S. title match, basically. In long story short, so I still was satisfied with what we got. I mean, there were some things, I will nitpick at a little bit, but I still thought for the most part I got what I wanted out of the show again, despite the fact that it was 5 hours long. So I'm not going to, dwell too much on this, because I know it's 1:30 in the morning here. But let me just check the live chat and see who we got here. What's going on, Mark? Good morning to you as well, Larry. yeah, we will talk about that Bryan and Rowan alliance. Larry said he's confused about the show. What's going on, Lauren? Both parts were garbage, but I still was invested in the Rumble matches, which I mean, I still like the show overall, of course. But that's how I feel, Larry, of course. What's going on? What's going on? Robbie saying, um, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Badass, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Champion, Johnny Rumble. You can for sure flow it that way. Lauren thought that the men's Rumble was better than the women's. Lauren thought that's how you feel. Cool. Weird but great Rumble was up Elite Squad. Mark says, what was with Nia Jax? We'll of course talk about that. Johnny freaking Wrestling in the Rumble. Yeah, that was a surprise for me. Of course, I'll talk about that in a little bit. What was up? What was with the Rowan and Bryan alliance? We will talk about that. Randy RKOing Nia was hilarious. I wanted her out of there so bad. I think that to me was similar to how I felt when Roman Reigns came out number 30 in 2017. Like when I saw it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, really? No reaction for the WWE title match. We'll talk about that, of course. The crowd was dead during Styles and Bryan. They were burned out. I got all my predictions right except the Rusev match, and the Raw tag title match was not scheduled. I correctly predicted Elias number 1 and Seth number 10, which you did so there. I mean, I thought Seth would get, an Iron Man type match, but he did. Let's see. Rowan and Bryan alliance sets up a future Club versus Wyatt family match with Rowan, Harper, and Bryan versus Styles, Anderson, and Gallows. Would be interesting, definitely, if it would get the Club back on track, but we'll have to wait and see. Why the crowd actually made me depressed. He predicted at least Bryan number 28, and yeah, the shows are definitely way too long. No surprise debuts or returns this year except Angle and Jarrett. We saw some nice surprises, I gotta say, for the most part in this Rumble that appeared. The crowd was dead tonight. It was a long ass show. Braun would play Cena. I heard that. I called it. It said maybe Johnny Gargano. He did. Nice. Doubt. I didn't watch the pre-show. Shane was out of it tonight. Lauren thought WWE needs an undisputed world champion, an undisputed women's champion, undisputed tag champion, an intercontinental U.S. champion, and the cruiserweight champion. Yes, that's all we need. We don't need 2 of every single title. I knew Gargano would be in the Rumble. At least we did hear Nia scream tonight for sure. I called Pete Dunne in the Rumble. That was a nice surprise also. Yes, EC3 and the Velveteen Dream, I was definitely surprised was not in the Rumble for sure. Maybe Undisputed Era for sure. Yeah, the pay-per-view was at the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball field. Yeah, why I was surprised I didn't show up too. I liked the show too, Mike. Just a lot of moments in it that were garbage. That's what I meant. Which no worries now. Or more of a tweener now. Not too sure. Surprise entrance were so many this year. Maria, yeah, we'll talk about the surprise entrance for sure. Who will face Bryan? Not sure. Who will face Asuka? Not too sure about that either. We'll have to see where that goes. Finn controlled the entire match against Lesnar, and he loses. We'll get to that, of course. So awesome seeing the curb stomp help Rollins win the match for sure. We only see was not going to be there tonight. Why advertise him? Don't know. Called it in terms of Maria as a surprise entrant. I predicted that as well also. Brand's ending soon. Nah, I have a strange feeling Lars is done. There was something with a tweet that he deleted later. Oh, I did not hear about that. And Sasha heel turn soon. I have no idea. But guys, I hate to rush this off, but I'm a little unprepared here. So let me pull up the results from the matches here. I forgot to pull it up for my list. And then we'll get rolling here. I also want to pull up. I'll get out of my stupid pop-ups. See, look at this, guys. I'm not even prepared for this review. Why did I even go live? And I want to pull up the Wikipedia page because that has the like some other numbers that I usually like to see when I do these Rumble reviews. Dang, that I have to bench that when I get to that match. See here. Okay, there we go. There. Wow, all the times are not in yet for who is all in the Rumble match, which that sucks. But anyway, so we'll talk about those later. So guys, let's get to this review, guys. Again, I did not watch the pre-show. I was shocked to see that well, first apparently we had a Raw tag title match with Bobby Roode, Chad Gable versus Razor and Scott Dawson. Why? or is it them in the Revival? Because Smarkout Moment says here that it was Rude and Gable over Razor and Dawson on Smarkout Moment. I didn't watch the pre-show again. Why did that happen? I don't know. The U.S. title match, Rusev and Nakamura. And apparently Nakamura won after he pushed Rusev into Lana, who fell over and hurt her knee. Now, how that played into later on, it worked. But why did they take the title off of Nakamura just to, put off of Nakamura, put it right back onto him? Like, who's going to win now? I mean, maybe someone who did eliminate Nakamura from the Royal Rumble match later on in the show, but of course we'll talk about that later. And the Fatal 4-Way match, I thought I did check that match. I did watch that when I got home tonight. I thought that match was decent. I mean, it was strong. It had a couple points in it, but again, it's just with the whole thing of it being the 4 best cruiserweights in the world. It's like Kalisto, okay, Tozawa, okay, Itami. Yeah, I liked how this match, had Kalisto and Tozawa having their moments, but with the momentum that Hideo Itami definitely has, picked up, I like how they kind of played the fact that Itami was the biggest. The story being told was Itami was the biggest threat out of the 3 in this match for Murphy's title. But Tozawa had a couple of moments. I like the spot where he did that dive in between whose legs was, I can't remember, one, I think it was Kalisto's legs to do a suicide dive. And there was one time where I think they tried to knock Kalisto off of the whoever top if he was, and he did a nice little hurricanrana on, I think it was Itami also as well. But of course, again, just play the story in there, the fact that Itami was the biggest threat to Murphy's title in this match for sure, but Murphy ended up pinning Itami for him to get the victory to retain. So not a bad cruiserweight match, of course, as well there. But again, I watched that afterwards. I feel like I could have appreciated more if I wasn't tired out, whatnot. But then we started off the main show, and the first match started, which I felt this should have been the beginning start, which also, by the way, I forgot to mention this too. Nice set. The stage course was different. I know they came out through the dugout, but I kind of wish that, they would have had the Titantrons up just a little bit higher, in my opinion, because they're still just kind of low. It's okay, come on, lift it up. It's a big deal. They're coming out here, and there's this really low, stage setup. Again, just my opinion overall for sure. But the opening match, which I definitely thought was the right match to open up with Asuka and Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. What I wanted to see out of this match, basically, was for Asuka to prove she does belong on top of the SmackDown Women's division. And I thought that they hit that on the high note of this match. Becky Lynch came out there, and I liked how, this match, it was hard-hitting. It was physical. It definitely brought out the competition for Asuka. And, I like also the fact that they're doing the counters back and forth, the submissions, even towards the end when it's getting to a point where, nothing was keeping them down. Asuka was trying to do Becky's submission. And then Becky even tried to do Asuka's submission with the Asuka lock. So these women literally pulled out all the stops on each other in this match. Asuka's hard hitting techniques, Becky's, techniques as well in there as well. Each other's submissions weren't working, so they tried doing the same thing on each other. So I thought I got this match exactly what I wanted. A dominating performance by both women. Asuka looked dominating, of course, as well. And then Asuka reversed a different type of submission to get Becky to tap out with that rollover and the torque on Becky's neck, and it looked like it was quite painful. But she got Becky to tap out, which I was surprised. I thought maybe she would get Becky to pass out to the Asuka lock or something like that. But it's still, to me, it still accomplished what needed to be done. I felt having Asuka can dominate because again, she was you could say there was some doubts. Asuka went on a big downward spiral after she lost at WrestleMania 34 last year, but and then she won the championship at TLC. Awesome. But she won it thanks to help from Ronda Rousey, knocking Charlotte and Becky off of the ladder. And what was it now? But Asuka then climbed up to the ladder and won a title that way. But this is kind of her. I mean, yeah, she had a title match against Naomi, but she didn't beat the one who just had the championship with Becky Lynch. But even in the loss, Becky still looked strong, and you could tell after the match was over that Becky had something on her mind. There was something definitely she had up her sleeve. Wasn't quite how I wanted it to happen, but you know, it still happened, and I was still pleased that happened. But a great opening match. I'd say this was one of the two best matches on the show. This match and the Raw Women's Title match, I think, were my two favorite matches on the show for sure. But yeah, that was a good match to kick off the show. The second match, surprisingly, I thought it was a solid tag match. It was a SmackDown tag title match with The Bar taking on Team Bestie, The Miz and Shane McMahon. This match actually I thought was pretty solid. I thought it was fun. I mean, again, I'm still not into this whole, you know, thing with Shane and Miz and whatever that they have planned for them for WrestleMania. I'm not really into it. But I give them credit the fact that, you know, this match was better than I expected. It was hard hitting. It was physical. I know we never really got to see Shane's flying elbow drop in there, but you know the teamwork, you know, put into this match was definitely strong. I felt we did see some out of the ring action as well here, and of course the match ended whenever at first they hit like a double like white noise, that elbow drop on I think it was Miz or Shane, one of the two. Probably Shane, but Shane, of course, kicked out. And then I think he went for a coast to coast, but it did not work. But then eventually they won after you know, the Miz got Sheamus out of the ring, hitting a skull crushing finale, and then Shane McMahon pinned Cesaro after he hit a shooting star press. So 49 years old, Shane gets to do a shooting star press. Give him the credit. Of course, you know, before he did, he made the sign of the cross. I was like, okay, Shane, you're just doing a shoot. I mean, I know you're doing a technique where, you know, you haven't really done it much before, so you could, you know, land on the back of your neck, but you're not jumping off a cell, my friend. You're not jumping off that high. You don't have to be like, dear God, help me, I don't die this. Well, then again, if he landed on his neck wrong, he probably could have, you know, got hurt there. But you know, I still thought that was a cool spot there. But you know, again, I'm still not really behind the story, but you know, for what the match was, it was better than I thought, so I'll give it the credit and say it was a solid match, I thought. So Team Bestie beat The Bar, and they are now the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The third match at all was the Raw Women's Championship match. Ronda Rousey taking on Sasha Banks. First off, Ronda, you're putting on awesome matches. I love you. You're great. Get rid of that eye makeup. I'm sorry, that eye makeup around her eye, I do not get it. It looks pointless. I mean, it kind of looks a little creepy, to be honest with me, but I don't get it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just my opinion. But I thought the match her and Sasha had was what I wanted. You know, and if anything, you know, I mean, I know, you know, Ronda put on a great showing, but Sasha in general put on a great match as well. Like, I really thought, you know, Sasha really made a statement in this match for sure, really pushing Ronda Rousey to the limit like she did. You know, obviously, you know, Sasha was smart knowing that, you know, Ronda was going to be going for that, you know, armbar submission that could easily, you know, tear her out of her socket. And she just attacked that arm like crazy for most of this match. There was a suicide dive in there also where they did fight outside the ring. And like, you know, they were going back and forth on like really good submissions for each other. Like there was the one submission where, you know, it looked like Sasha was not even a Banks hand, but she had Ronda's arm was at like a 180 degree angle in my opinion. Well, sorry, 90-degree angle. Get my angle's correct here. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been in school. Or whatever angle it is, but her arm was straight back. It looked like she was about to rip Ronda's arm out of the socket, and it looked extremely painful. But these two out there and put on just like a submission, you know, technical wrestling match that I thought was just strong and right on the point as well. It was physical. It was hard hitting. And then, of course, you know, Ronda rolled out of the bank several times. But of course, the match actually did not end in a submission. It actually ended with Ronda hitting like a final judo throw on Sasha Banks for her to get the victory. After the match, you know, I kept thinking, was the heel turn going to come here? But I kept thinking, Sasha and Bayley are probably going to win the tag titles at Elimination Chamber, and then who knows where they're going to go with that. But afterwards, a sign of respect, Sasha and Ronda shook hands because they put on, in my opinion, probably either this or the SmackDown Women's Title match is now my newest women's match of the year for sure. Ronda picked her up and like acknowledged Sasha, saying, hey, you're great and whatnot. So Sasha walked away. Ronda's going around, but then Sasha's coming back, and I'm thinking, holy shit! Like, is Sasha gonna maybe turn heel on here and attack Ronda? Put her hands out. They shook hands, but then Sasha did this. She put up the 4 horsewoman sign, and I'm like, it's coming. It's beginning to happen, and it is coming here, people. So again, I still don't see it happen. I know there's still rumors of Ronda leaving at WrestleMania 35. Again, I feel like, if she does leave, it'll be a hiatus for like the summer, because again, she was focused on, having kids or whatnot. But I still feel Ronda's going to take a break to, kind of like explore that thing about how, even UFC, how Ronda does not take losing well. So I still feel that, but either, well, then again, I'm pretty sure, Ronda comes back at SummerSlam, though. If she's trying to have kids, it's not gonna be a good time to have kids and go back and have like a big match. But I feel either SummerSlam, Evolution, or Survivor Series again this year was when we will get the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match. And if TN Couponer's idea stands as well, I would like to see that be a War Games match for sure. But I really enjoyed this match. I'm sorry, kind of like rushing through this, not really saying too much about these matches. But again, it's like almost like 1:50 in the morning here, and I definitely want to get some sleep. But I just want to do this review. So let's check the live chat really quick here and see what we got here. Where am I gonna see? Let me see where we were at. Where were we here? Let's see here. Let's see here. Why was there no fireworks after the Rumble wins? They couldn't give any pyro for this pay-per-view. Like, come on. I know they're cutting back on pyro, but like not even for Rumble. Come on. Should have happened. Why put the title back on Shinsuke? I don't get that. Elite Squad's WrestleMania 35 predictions. Miz versus Bryan. Seth versus... I don't want to see a face Miz versus heel Bryan. Seth versus Brock, yes. Charlotte versus Ronda versus Becky, yes. Asuka, Naomi, and Rose, and Sonya, and Zelina, and Lana. Wow, that's a big match. Maybe. Almas versus Mysterio versus Rusev or Nakamura at Mania for the U.S. title. That maybe. Still calling a Shane heel turn on Miz for Mania again. I don't want to see Miz as a face that much longer. I may do a Miz turn alert sometime this week. I'm not sure when. Murphy going to Mania as champion probably. Owens, I still think is not coming back till after Mania. I don't think he's going to be ready quite yet. Mustafa Ali deserves a U.S. title opportunity because he eliminated the current champion. We will talk about that for sure. What's the point of having both brands if there's no GMs? That's another question I'm wondering too. I don't know. Johnny wrestling the Rumble, I still can't believe it. That was definitely awesome for sure. Surprise Becky versus Asuka Open, which I felt was the right match to open up the show, especially with why I saw for Becky the rest of the show. What's up, Jalen Payton saying this Rebel Heart was in the Royal Rumble. I marked out so loud. I did too. I popped either with him or when someone else came out for the Rumble match. Lauren thought the best match was the SmackDown Women's match. Apparently Larry knows Jalen. Brian with Eric Rowan versus Miz with Shane wrestling at 35. Again, I respect your opinion, man, but I'm still not behind a heel Brian versus face Miz match for some reason. I'm just not behind it for some reason, but that's pretty one cool. That's his wrestling buddy Jalen, guys. Cool. Welcome to the stream. Where's Batista? I guess he's not going to be here. And oh well, it looks like I'm going to have to do something here. Bye-bye, because you can't say that stuff to me. Did you hear Ron immediately though? Yeah, I just addressed that. Triple H is apparently cleared. Really nice. Maybe we'll get the match to Batista at Mania. Yeah, there's no change coming for sure. Who Triple H, Undertaker, and John Cena face at Mania? Will this question get answered on the road to WrestleMania? John Cena, Drew Mac. I want him to face Drew McIntyre. I don't think Taker should wrestle again, as I keep saying, but if he does wrestle, maybe Finn Balor. I will say that. Triple H, I want him to see him wrestle Batista. Pete Dunne was an awesome surprise as well. Seth will announce he'll challenge Brock tomorrow on Raw, probably. Jalen was into the men's Rumble match, which it was not bad. Could have been a little bit better, but I enjoyed the match. Seth better defeat Brock. Drew and Cena. Mania, hopefully, yes. The final four in the men's Rumble was Andrade, Dolph, Strowman, and Seth Rollins, which I was fine with that, except not really Dolph. I didn't think Dolph should have been in the final four. Who do you think will be the inaugural WWE Tag Champions? Probably the Boston Hug Connection. I was totally into it too. The NXT stars made it feel even more important. Loved it for sure. I bet you marked out when Aleister Black entered as well. I was like, I know Larry's loved that moment. I think I love that moment too. The top four of the men's Rumble was terrible except Rollins and Andrade. Lauren felt Cena's injury probably sets up McIntyre for Cena WrestleMania 35, which I'm fine with. Cena's injury was to write him off for a film. Why pull Cena on the day of the Rumble? When will Cena return? Again, I don't know. Again, if it was to set up a feud with McIntyre, if Cena came back to set up a feud with McIntyre Mania, I guess I can somewhat accept it. But sometimes the advertising him can throw it off. But again, if he does not have a match at Mania, I'll actually be kind of pissed that he came back. Because again, what would the point of him coming back if he's not even going to have a match at Mania? I heard about Roman and Rock. Find out the fan debuts 22nd. I look forward to catching that out. Which, by the way, also. Check out definitely the WWE Chronicle, guys, with Paige. It's definitely awesome. It's sad, but it was an awesome story. There's here. Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley marked out too, which those are nice. Sasha got more pops than Ronda for sure because she finally got a title opportunity. Ronda's eyeliner was hideous for sure. Kairi Sane looked great in a Rumble, I agree. Sasha had like a heel for sure, which that's when she's at her best. I was rooting for Seth and Becky to win as well. I'm sure all of us were. Jalen has two questions about this Rumble. Why was there no pyro, nor WrestleMania sign? The WrestleMania sign was on a screen. Like it wasn't like it wasn't even on like hanging it from somewhere. I mean, I get they're in an outdoor ballpark, but come on, you couldn't have added like the WrestleMania sign somewhere like appropriate, not just on a screen. And yeah, there could have been pyro. We're gonna talk about that Rowan and the Ryan segment. That's weird. Becky will probably win at Mania. There was a WrestleMania segment, but it was on the Titantron. Maybe Force at SummerSlam. I was surprised the Bells didn't show up either, but that's still fine. And that's right, because it was in their hometown. But, I was all right with that. Probably there. We all know that, Lauren. No worries. We'll see what happens with Raw tomorrow. Maybe WWE's getting edgier. Who knows? I figured something would happen with Mandy and Naomi for sure in the Women's Rumble. Maybe Rogue because of the plan. Who's no sure. The Bella Suck Elite Squad says, we're not gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get Naomi and Mandy at WrestleMania. It's not a WrestleMania match. Natty and Ruby, we've already seen that already. Maybe that's the case. Jalen, not sure. Heel Miz versus Face Bryan will be better. I agree. MS Maurice too. Taker's rumored to headline this year's Hall of Fame. Nice. Finn and Orton, maybe. Andrade is rumored for a face turn, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer him as a heel. NXT was kind of flat as a face. I like him as a heel. I trust WWE with what they're doing with the Bryan and Rowan pairing. Okay, that's how you feel. Very cool. I'd be interested to hear what your idea is behind it. We all know who Becky wants to fight at Mania, which is Ronda. Can Brock enter the Women's Rumble next year? Oh, what's up, Andreas Ziggler? I haven't seen you in a while. Well, man, how you doing? Can Brock enter the Women's Royal Rumble next year? Says Lance Storm. Yeah, no, thank you. We all have more faith in SmackDown for sure. Did he really say that? That is funny for sure. Rowan and Bryan makes sense. They have history too. Maybe. Let's see. Why was Women's Rumble before the two title matches? Again, where else we're going to put it? I think it's awesome. I mean, it's random as fuck now, but I think it's great. The Ryan Rowan stuff, The Rock versus Ricochet, I still would love to see that match as well, Robbie. Sorry I kind of rushed through the live chat again, guys, but I'm going to get back here. And I'll briefly talk about the Women's Royal Rumble match. Again, I liked it better than last year's Rumble match women's match because, last year, I respect the fact that they brought back people like, Trish, Lita, Michelle McCool, Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, Kelly, a few other surprises they brought back. And I get this, it's the first women's Rumble. They want to celebrate different generations of women's wrestling. But to be honest, again, not many of them lasted that long. Like, the longest was Michelle McCool at like 8 minutes, I think it was. She had the most eliminations too, which I was cool with that. But I was cool with Michelle McCool having most eliminations. But again, my problem was, it's just the fact that, most of them were not that durable. And it was just way too predictable. And of course, I wasn't a fan of it coming down to the Bellas and Asuka as the final three. Again, it should have been like Asuka, Trish, Sasha, and like Bailey or Natty or even Mickey or something like that. Not Asuka, Sasha, and the Bella Twins. I wasn't a fan of that. But this one, yeah, they probably could have thrown maybe like one or two, former superstars as well. But I still thought the depth in this match, was better than it was last year. Of course, we had Lacey Evans start us off at number 1, which I felt, knowing that WWE probably is going to give her that over push, I still think is coming. I felt she put on a good performance. She lasted, let's see here. She lasted almost 30 minutes, so that's solid there. Natty and Ember Moon, which, because there's not on Wikipedia, there's not a lot of numbers for times. They have all the eliminations numbers in as well. But Natty and Ember lasted like almost like about 55 minutes each. So they gave them a lot of time in this match. Natty started number 2, Ember at number 6, which I was happy about that because I wanted to see, I was happy to see, the both of these women get like, a long, like Iron Woman run for sure in this match. I wanted Ruby Riott doing the same, but that was not quite the case. Surprise entrance we had in this match. Of course, we had, again, the current NXT call-ups such as Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross coming in as well, which was fun to see them. Xia Li, who's in the Mae Young Classic, came in and put on a strong showing as well. I like what I saw out of her. Kairi Sane came in. I'm not sure how long she was in the match for, because it doesn't say in here, but of course she had a better performance than last year because last year got eliminated by freaking Dana Brooke. That still makes me mad that happened. But I like how she did in this match. Maria Kanellis, I popped when Maria Kanellis came out because I called that one. Also, I must say, was it just me, or did anyone else think that Maria Kanellis came out when she came out with that red outfit on, and I thought she looked like Eva Marie? I swear to God, I thought at first Maria Kanellis was dressed up as Eva Marie, and it cracked me up. And even because I was watching with a bunch of casual viewers tonight, whatnot. My plans for Rumble ended up getting changed because of some car issues for Dan. But some other people was like, "Is that Eva Marie?" I said, "No, it's Maria Kanellis." But of course, I popped when Maria came out. I'm like, "Please wear that black attire." But no, she wore red. But again, Maria can still go. I was very impressed with Maria Kanellis and when she's in the battle. Like, she can still go. I don't know why she's not wrestling right now, but she can still go for sure. Candice LeRae, I enjoyed that surprise. Casey Catanzaro. Her and Naomi were both doing the Kofi Kingstons. Naomi, of course, almost got eliminated. She landed on her feet. She got on. Well, actually, I'm sorry. She landed into Mandy Rose. Because then we all knew she was going to go after her and eliminate her when she came in. And she, walked. She kind of did what she did last year. Walked across, the barricade, and she jumped onto the steel steps before Mandy pushed her off and eliminated her there. But then Casey Catanzaro, who was in the Mae Young Classic, again, she's an awesome talent, definitely too. Very small though, of course. But when she got eliminated first by Rhea Ripley, she got pushed on her back, and she just made her way over to the post and collided like she was Spider-Man. That was awesome there as well. I was fine with, of course, Io Shirai came out. I was fine with Rhea Ripley being a surprise entrant, but I personally would prefer Toni Storm to represent NXT UK. Again, I just felt the sympathy was. I mean, Rhea Ripley's awesome, but Toni Storm with a recent like scandal with the nudes leaks and whatnot, and like the support she's got. I feel like she would have gotten a nice pop if it would have, I feel like a little bit more meaningful if she would have gotten out there. Of course, we also got to mention that Zelina Vega was most of the time hid underneath the ring, but then she got chased away by Hornswoggle after Rhea Ripley eliminated her, which that was funny for what it was. I actually kind of thought that was funny and not what happened in the men's Rumble match. But then Bayley, I gotta give credit. I mean, well, also Alexa Bliss, I thought looked good in her first match back in 5 months. Bayley, I actually thought she looked dominating as well. The Riot Squad, of course, came out with Ruby after they were both Liv and Sarah Logan were eliminated, so they came out kind of like the like triple team up on everyone. But eventually, after they took out Kairi Sane, when Io Shirai came out, she took care of them. Actually, I'm sorry, Bayley eliminated Ruby Riott, but Io Shirai got comeuppance on them for eliminating Kairi Sane. But yeah, Bayley definitely impressed me the most. And then 28 was supposed to be Lana. But I remember when I saw Husband in the pre-show, I'm like, Lana had that knee injury. I'm like, are they going to substitute her in or something? And sure enough, Becky Lynch came out, arguing with Fit, feeling like she can't go. So he let Becky enter the Rumble. And the Final Four, which I kind of wish Ember Moon was in the Final Four, but I respect they gave the Final Four spot to Bayley. I kind of wish she would have entered a little bit sooner. She did. She came out at number 27. I felt Bayley should have at least got like a number 16 or something like that. But I was impressed with definitely with Bayley in this match. But I mean, I definitely wish that Ember Moon would have had that Final Four spot. But definitely hats off to Bayley for sure putting on a good performance. Came down to Nia Jax, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, which Charlotte had the most eliminations with 5, tying she came in number 13. She tied Michelle McCool for last year with her eliminations. But it came down to Nia Jax and Charlotte, and Becky, was rolled out of the ring, was knocked out of the ring. When she rolled out of the ring, she wasn't like eliminated, of course. And then she pulled Nia Jax off of the apron, getting like her comeuppance on Nia Jax for what she did. But then Nia took Becky and like shoved her into the steel steps, causing Becky to hurt her knee. And for a split second, it looked like the referee was about to raise Charlotte's hand to declare the winner. But Becky came in there, like, pushed the hand, pushed the hold away, and started saying, like, I am ready. I got this. And she fought back. And I really still thought, and that's why I say I was half right about this. I really thought they were going to do like a dual, champion dual win or something like that for the Rumble, but they did not. And Becky Lynch wins the Women's Royal Rumble, and I enjoyed it. I popped. I was happy with that. Again, I'm pretty sure some way Charlotte's going to weasel her way into the match, make it a triple threat match. But it was an awesome moment for sure for Becky. She had her hopes crushed earlier tonight, losing to Asuka, but she took advantage of the opportunity and asked to pretty much be replaced. And she even acknowledged the crowd wanted it. Like when Becky was out there arguing with Fit Finlay, she started pointing the crowd like they want it, and he allowed it, let it go in, and like a lot of even seemed to approve it also. Yeah, I thought this match was fun. Again, there was a lot more depth. I like the NXT stars we definitely got appearing in this match. Yeah, it would be nice to see maybe another female star or two in there. And I feel they could have spread out the surprises just a little bit more, in my opinion, because most of them came in. Let's see here, between like the 10 and 20 portions. Like most of them came in like kind of like close together. I wish I could have again spread them out just a little bit more. But I still thought it was definitely a fun match. I definitely enjoyed it more than last year's Women's Rumble. Again, there's just more depth in this match, and it felt like it was legit. It was a long match, so it was an hour and 12 minutes. So I definitely felt they gave this one a little. Could have cut down maybe like 10 more minutes maybe on this, but it was still a fun match, I thought, for sure. So that was that match. And again, Becky Lynch is your winner, and she's going to WrestleMania, which I feel is pretty darn awesome. Let's check the live chat again really quick here. Let me see here. Let's see here. Where were we at? I think we were right here. Um, he tweeted it. Nice. I hope they mention the Wyatt family history. They may too with the Rowan and Brian stuff. When Mandy eliminated Naomi, did you hear Renee say Naomi's gonna beat her ass in the parking lot after this? No, I did not hear that. But again, Renee on commentary is definitely becoming interesting. The man shows up tonight to challenge Ronda Rousey. Could happen on Raw for sure. Actually, that would be an idea. Have Brian say something like, Rowan was a guy who was always there for me. He's family to me, something like that. Of course, it has to make sense for sure. Definitely. We'll see where it goes. Casey Catanzaro, is that awesome or what? Yeah, again, she is awesome for sure. She is great. Mrs. Ricochet. Wait, for real? I did not know that. Yeah, I popped for Maria again. I wanted to wear that black outfit again. When she wore that red, I'm like, she looks like Eva Marie. I just thought that. No lie, Mike. When Xia Li entered the Rumble, I thought first she was Mako Satomura. Ooh, that would have been nice to see Mako Satomura. Did your friend do live reactions? No videos on his channel. Well, we were supposed to do it, but what happened was, again, Dan was in Akron, Ohio, which is about an hour and a half away from where we live, and unfortunately, he had some car issues, so he wasn't able to make it back here in time. So I still watched it with friends, but Dan wasn't around for it, unfortunately. Casey is the MVP of the Women's Rumble for Larry, which, go cool with me. I say she had good performance. Imagine Nikki Cross was in the Men's Royal Rumble match instead of Nia Jax. I would have marked out as loud as for Johnny Wrestling. Now, that would have been more entertaining for me, in my opinion. I would have loved to see Nikki Cross go in there. Damn Leprechaun, there goes my Zelina Vega ice cream bars. Nice one, Robbie. Charlotte, the Queen, is now the monster. We'll see what she does. It would have been funny if that happened, at least to me, but of course, way more different than Nia Jax. Oh, yeah. My question is, why was Shinsuke in Kane's Attitude Era ring gear? Actually, got a good point. That actually did look like he was in Kane's ring gear, I felt. Becky won the Rumble on one good leg, making her look like a badass. Of course, I was hoping she would like taken out Nia Jax, like taken done some type of badass move. Well, again, her win on one leg was badass, but I kind of hope we're getting there was that. I felt sorry for Lana trying to get to the ring on an injured angle. Yeah, that was definitely sad to watch too. And again, Red looks better on Nakamura, though. All Blue Man looked like a Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, he was wearing a freaking blue pajama onesie, I thought it was. I'm glad I got rid of that attire. That was just weird. But moving on now, again, we'll talk about the two world title matches, and then we'll do the men's Rumble. So the first match, again, this match should not have taken place after the Rumble. Again, I really still feel it should have been the tag titles that should have taken place after the women's Rumble. That's a good cool down match. It was Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, and yeah, this match just was not. This was to me the worst match on this card, in my opinion. It was, I don't know, it never really got out of second gear. I don't know if it's because, again, the crowd was just dead in this match. I mean, at this point, it was already like 9:30, 9:45. Well, my time that is. So it was basically already about 2.5 hours into the show. It already was, which at that point I'm starting to say, okay, yeah, this show's definitely going until about 11:30, which ended up going to midnight. So an hour over than it should have been, which once again, it's a little inconsiderate of WWE for sure. But I don't know. The only thing I really remember from this match, they had some, lockups, but it just felt like a slow match. To me, again, I felt this match should have had a stipulation to it, because to me, it felt no different than what we were getting at TLC. Heck, in fact, I enjoyed the match at TLC more than I enjoyed this match. I mean, the only spot I really remember that I liked was when AJ did that, that back, roll outside the ring off of the what's it called now? The shoot, I can't remember what it's called now. The barricade, and kind of like slam Brian's head back onto the mat. Which of course I cringe every time that happens. I'm always worried about Brian's head, since he has a history of concussions. But then Eric Rowan came out towards the end of the match, and then when Styles hit Brian went to go hit a roundhouse kick, and then Styles ducked, and he roundhouse kicked the referee in the head. Rowan came in and slammed Styles down, and then Bryan pins him for the win. And afterwards, Rowan held him up for Bryan to do a flying knee. So again, I'm not sure where this is going. I guess if Harper was also involved, then maybe, but just Rowan by himself, I've never, this is my opinion though, guys, I've never really seen much singles potential in Eric Rowan. Harper, yes. Rowan, I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I mean, again, it is SmackDown. Usually, again, most of the stuff that they've done on SmackDown, it's even if it's not something that I'm crazy about, it's okay, they're trying to tell something. Like Shane and Miz, I wouldn't say it's awful, but again, it's not. It's just something that I'm just not into. And again, like Rowan, if it was Daniel Bryan, Harper, and Rowan, okay, but just Bryan and Rowan, I'm just I'm not too sure. Again, it was weird. Again, I'm just not really into Eric Rowan as a single star. I mean, I like him better as a tag team. I thought maybe if Bray Wyatt would have returned at the Rumble and won, would they have gotten Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania with Bryan as the face? I mean, Bryan as the heel, Wyatt as the face. Because again, they put that match they put on the Rumble 2014, and I was there live. Again, that was a spectacular opening match to that show. If they went to that WrestleMania, God bless their souls and do it. But I thought it could be Bryan taking on Wyatt with the Bryan now having his former henchman or something. I'm not too sure, but that's not happening now. Well, it could happen further down the line. I have to wait and see. But I don't know. Again, I'm still not too crazy about this pairing of Rowan and Bryan. But again, like you guys say, we'll see where it goes. So that was that match. Again, definitely disappointing. Again, to me, the lowest point of the show. Again, I felt this match for sure was disappointing. So we'll see what happens going forward with from here. Then the Universal title match. Actually, also one more thing about Bryan and Styles. According to the times here on Wikipedia, apparently the Bryan and Styles match was 24 minutes and 35 seconds. Which, personally, with how long the show was, they could have cut probably a good, 5-10 minutes out of that match. I felt, again, just my opinion, that was a little too long, especially with how dead the crowd was for that match, for sure. They could have cut some time out of that match, for sure. But the Universal title match, though, was short. It did what I felt it needed to do, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan of how it finished and that ending. Because Finn Balor, right off the bat, he came out, and even though he didn't come out as the Demon, which, again, it was strange because, why wouldn't Finn Balor want to, be the Demon and try to, pull out all the stops to overcome Brock Lesnar? This may have been just Finn Balor, the man, trying to prove he could have beaten the Beast. Of course, the whole David and Goliath promo thing, and it's just, again, I'm just tired of all these big man, little man storylines just being the exact same thing all the time. It just makes me sick. But I like that Balor was definitely aggressive in this match. He definitely, pushed Brock Lesnar around a lot, especially the part where he kind of rammed, Brock to the corner of one of the announce tables and knocked the wind out of him for sure. And with those three, flips he did over the ropes did not take down Lesnar as well. Again, he really pushed Lesnar to the limit. Yeah, there were times where Lesnar got the upper hand on him. Of course, I also love the counter when Lesnar was going for the F5, but then Balor hit him with a cycling DDT and got him into the corner and hit the coup de grace. But then, of course, that led to Lesnar rolling up Balor into a Kimura lock, and Balor tapped out, which I'm not sure if I'm tapped out. And after the match, Lesnar picked up Balor and just literally ragdolled him and just beat the ever-living piss out of him. And I was thinking, I hope that was not, I guess, Lesnar was humiliated that, Finn Balor pretty much, carried that match for the most part. But I was hoping that was not, them trying to, take away the fact that Balor pretty much just, at most points in that match, kicked Lesnar's ass. I felt I got out of it what I wanted to see, a solid match. But again, what happened afterwards, I was like, am I a fan of this? I'm not too sure about that. But So we all knew Brock was probably retaining. I mean, if that match would have happened in last year's Rumble instead of the doggone awful triple threat with Lesnar, Strowman, and Kane. Still want to forget that match. This match could have happened last year. I would have been fine with it. But that happens there. Before we get to the main event, check the live chat again. Let me see here. Blue is awful on Nakamura for sure. Looking at the crowd was depressing for sure. I tried to ignore them for sure because the crowd was just so dead. We all knew, of course, that Miz and Shane were going to win. The crowd looked tired for sure when that title match. Johnny Wrestling, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura in the same ring at the same time. The Rumble was definitely an awesome moment. I agree. Styles and Bryan should have been in a type of like a no DQ match, like no DQ. No holds barred, like not something like completely outrageous, but something just a little bit different to spice it up a little bit. I don't know. Again, I just they should have gotten that. As soon as Lana removed her heels and confronted Nakamura on the ring apron, I immediately said it's going to be like WrestleMania 31 over again. Bruce was knocking her off the apron, which it pretty much that's what happened. I mean, at least this time, it played to the effect of Lana not being able to compete in the Rumble match later on. But once again, like, where's this taking Rusev now? Like, now that Rusev's lost a title again, it's just like, okay, now what? Like, what's the point of him putting a title on him and just taking right back off of him? 4 NXT legends, my buddy, for sure. Yes, definitely. I fantasize about so many dream matches with those 4 in there for sure. Gargano versus Nakamura, Gargano versus Joe, Gargano versus Rollins. Yes, Gargano and Bryan. SummerSlam this year, I feel that match can happen. Gargano and Bryan at SummerSlam this year, I feel should happen. But yeah, Gargano. I feel we did get Gargano and Joe at one point, like in 2016, early 2016, maybe it is. I can't remember, but it was when Johnny Gargano wasn't really was still kind of getting his feet wet in NXT. Gargano and Joe had actually one of my favorite, you guys would not know about it because it was at a live event. One of my favorite matches I've ever seen Johnny Gargano in live was an NXT live event in late 2015 I went to. It was Johnny Gargano and Sami Zayn, which is towards the end. It was right around the time when Sami Zayn first came back from his injury in NXT, and Johnny Gargano, of course, was gaining some popularity like that. I mean, you guys didn't see the match, of course, it was an NXT live event, but it was awesome. I definitely feel like that's one of my. If that should have been could be definitely a takeover match for sure, or even a pay-per-view match booked properly, though, of course. But I had to get that out there for sure. Let's see here. Even though I'm sad that he didn't win, I'm glad Balor didn't get squashed and had some attacks for sure. But again, I'm still not sure if I'm a fan of him tapping out, and just what Lesnar did afterwards. Was that Lesnar just pissed off that Balor took him to the limit, or was that meant to very much set Balor back down the tubes? I'm not too sure. Your thoughts on halftime heat this year with the 6 NXT Elite? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch it again. Well, actually, here's the thing. I'm not really that big into football, guys, honestly. I'm not really a football fan, but I'm actually going to be hanging out with some friends at an entertainment center place, actually, for what's it called? For the Super Bowl. So maybe I'll check it out later, but I'm not sure. But it sounds like a fun tag match for sure. DIY TakeOver SummerSlam with Gargano versus Bryan and Ciampa versus McIntyre. Ooh, I'd like to see that match for sure. As always, Robbie, you're a genius. That's why we like you. Oh yeah, Larry, don't worry, my friend. I was not happy about that either. So let's now talk about the main event, the men's Royal Rumble match. Oh boy, I thought this match was good, but it could have been better. The men's Rumble match. Let's see here. There's no other times. Like I don't know who was in this match long at all, pretty much. Well, McIntyre was definitely in there for a good amount of time. Eliminations, Braun Strowman had 6. Wow. Everybody else before him had 3. With Joe, Rollins, McIntyre had 3 there. Yeah, there's no times really uploads. I can't really say who was in there the longest. So this Rumble match started off with Elias number 1, which was awesome. And then he had a segment with, of all people, Jeff Jarrett. Which I was head scratching about that. I'm like, all right, it's Jeff Jarrett. nice little surprise. Guess something for like Elias to do a moment for him, definitely. But he didn't want to sing with Jeff Jarrett, so they start off the match and Elias eliminated him. Kurt Angle entered the Rumble. He only lasted like 3 minutes in it though, and he got eliminated by Nakamura, which okay, but that point was the point. I don't know. I felt him being in there felt a little pointless though with coming in like that. Yeah, Johnny Gargano came in number 6, lasting at almost 15 minutes. Was awesome. Like I did not think they were going to. Well, then again, here again, my one friend said, why would they have Candice LeRae in a match in the women's Rumble match and not have Johnny in the men's? Like why would they let Candice one up Johnny? And I was like, kind of have a point there, but I popped when Johnny came out. Like I didn't think he was going to be in the match. I thought him and Ciampa were both not going to be in the Rumble match this year because they still have the unfinished business. I mean, yes, they probably could have both been there and brought their feud there, but of course they're on the same page right now, it seems. But that was definitely a nice surprise there having Johnny in the match. I enjoyed that. Who else was in this match? Let's see here. I like the fact that they got rid of Jinder Mahal very quickly. Thank God. Of course, Kurt Hawkins came out at number 9, and Titus O'Neil came out at number 11. Hoping that he would not fall again. But then Hawkins tried pulling off his Zelina Vega, hiding underneath the ring. Eventually, though, he chases Hawkins, and Hawkins then eliminates Titus O'Neil. And Hawkins is like, "Yeah!" Get all excited, but then he gets eliminated by Samoa Joe, who was in there for about 25 minutes, by the way. Seth Rollins, I said needed to have an Iron Man appearance, came out at number 10. And he eliminated Elias very oddly because Elias was like, hold on to the ring or something, like apron or something like that. And then he then climbed up to the post, and then Rollins was like kind of clapped his hands, scared, let him go. He's like, what can I say? I had to do what I had to do, pretty much. But he came out at number 10, which I don't have a time for how long he was in this match, but probably good 50 minutes, like 45, 50 minutes, I gotta say, he was in the match. Kofi did 2 times he saved himself, which, he fell off the ring, but his feet were slanted on the apron, so he spun around until he got on the steps. Then when Xavier Woods comes out, he stepped out again, and the tease of both feet were not touching the floor, and then him and Woods did something very goofy to get it back in. No Way Jose also was out. He's only there for two seconds, but I was like, come on, this is a waste here. McIntyre was out at number 16. He came out at another surprise at number 18, Pete Dunne. I wanted him to. I predicted him to be in last year's Rumble, but I was happy he got to be in this match. He definitely had a lot of good moments in this match. He's in a lot of great matches for sure. There as well. I was fine with being eliminated by Drew McIntyre. If Pete Dunne was to get eliminated this match, like someone like big had to eliminate him, not Baron Corbin eliminating one of the last surprises we had, Aleister Black, which of course I popped when Black came out. I'm like, yes, awesome. I wish the lights would have went out though before his music hits. I like that they still had the smoke there when he came out. I'm like, yeah, he came out, and to my surprise, he eliminated Dean Ambrose, which I was cool with that. I thought that maybe they would set up something with him and Randy Orton for WrestleMania. But if they want to do Aleister Black and Dean Ambrose for WrestleMania, fine by me. But then what didn't make me happy was the fact that the person who eliminated Aleister Black, who there's not a time for him, probably could last a little bit longer. It could be out to one of the final, 6 or something like that. Baron Corbin eliminated him. And I was pissed off when it happened. Like, of all people, Baron Corbin, like, come on. Another noteworthy elimination I remember was Mustafa Ali taking out Samoa Joe, and Joe just gave him that death glare, like, you. So obviously it's set up for like a match between them at an Elimination Chamber, probably. I'm not sure if they're going to be in a chamber match or if they're going to be. If not, they'll be going one-on-one for sure at Chamber. I look forward to see what they do there. And then Bobby Lashley came out number 26, only lasted 12 seconds before Seth Rollins eliminated him. And it looked like the way he was eliminated, it looked like Lashley was not supposed to be eliminated as soon as he was, but he did. He then pulled out Rollins and slammed him through the table. And Rollins was pretty much out there for most of the rest of the match. Braun Strowman was announced as a replacement for John Cena. Then Dolph Ziggler came out number 28, and him and Strowman eliminated Drew McIntyre, which I'm just like, Okay, like I get it. Maybe Dolph's getting his comeuppance on McIntyre and somewhat Strowman also for what McIntyre did to him also. But I feel like Drew should have been there a little bit longer. And once again, like, why is Dolph still here? I'm at the point where it's like, Dolph, go to AEW. You've done all you can here. You're not going to get anywhere else right now. I respect all you've done, but go to AEW. Like, I don't know why he was in this match. He was in the final 3, which I was head scratched about that also. And then let's talk about the one moment that made me absolutely sick. So R-Truth comes out at number 30, and I'm like, okay, something's happening here. Like, he's getting beat down by someone. That someone I thought could be Batista, could be The Rock, could be, Lars Sullivan, could be Velveteen Dream. And also, where is EC3? I am shocked that EC3 is not in this Rumble, or even Velveteen Dream. No. Who do they bring out? Nia Jax. Nia Jax. Huh? What was she trying to do? Like outdo Becky Lynch or something like that? She beats down R-Truth. And it didn't hit me at first. I'm like, oh, maybe Nia's coming out here doing someone's bidding, and then like someone else will come out to the ring. Like maybe this is just for humor. Nia then starts walking to the ring. I'm like, what? Like, gotta be kidding me. Like, I was literally feeling the same exact way when Roman came out number 30 in the 2017 Rumble. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And she goes there and she is dominating everyone. If they wanted to give her an elimination, okay, she had one. But of all people, she eliminated freaking Mustafa Ali. Like, if anyone, she should have eliminated Dolph. Like, I would have been fine with, like, Ali being in the final 4 instead of, Ziggler. But of all people, Mustafa Ali, and then finally, Ziggler hit a super kick on her. Rey hit a 619, Orton hit an RKO, and then Rey Mysterio eliminated her. Thank God. That happened to make me sick. But the final 4 was Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Andrade, which I'm like, Andrade winning wouldn't be bad for me, a bad idea at all, but he got eliminated. And it came down to Ziggler and Strowman and Rollins. And then Ziggler gets eliminated. So I'm just like, oh gosh. I'm like, Strowman, I love you, but no. Like, you're not going to face, you're not getting another shot against Brock. If you face Bryan, maybe, but Brock, no. And then him and Rollins go back and forth. So many times I thought Rollins was going to be eliminated, but finally he curb stomps Braun on the apron to win the match. So I was happy about that. I wish Seth would have done a little bit more. I mean, yes, he was an Iron Man, but he had 3 eliminations, and then he got taken out of the match like he did. I kind of wish he would have had a little more spots in this match, I felt. But I'm glad he won. He's probably going to face Lesnar at Mania, of course. And, I mean, I'm just not sure what else he's going to do till then, because Chamber, obviously, he has unfinished business with Bobby Lashley. But Lashley has the IC title. So would it be okay for him to lose to Lashley, knowing he's a Rumble winner going to Mania? And then I'm saying, again, he still has unfinished business with Ambrose. So I'm thinking, what if they have, like, again, like I've mentioned, like Dean Ambrose being that final obstacle that Rollins needs to get through? What if they have that, again, the main event of Fastlane is that match I pitched for WrestleMania, which is probably not going to happen since Rollins is probably going to fight Lesnar. But what if it is Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in the main event of Fastlane, 3 stages of hell, with Rollins' number 1 contendership on the line for WrestleMania? Maybe, who knows? But yeah. So fun Rumble match. I enjoyed it. I personally kind of enjoyed the women's match just a little bit more. I felt like the women to me stole this show. The men, weren't bad at all, but again, I felt the women definitely stole the show for sure. Yeah, so Rollins wins. Just a couple little nitpicks, of course, in there, and get Nia Jax just showing up, and that was just atrocious. I hated it. But yeah. So I'll check the live chat one more time. First, let me go on Twitter and check the polls and see what people are saying about this show, and what show they enjoy more this weekend. And let me see here. Let me see here. 30 votes. Thanks for all the votes, guys. For what grade would you give the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? 30 votes. 10% said A, 43% said B, 23% said C, 24% said D or lower. So some mixed, feelings about this Rumble. And what showed you enjoy more this weekend? Takeover Phoenix or the Royal Rumble? 21 votes. 62% said Takeover Phoenix. 38% said the Rumble. So some close results. Still gotta give the edge to Takeover Phoenix. But I still did enjoy both shows this week. I thought Rumble, again, despite it being long, I still thought it was a fun show. But definitely WWE needs to stop, doing this overkill and giving us these 5-hour shows. Because now, of course, in WrestleMania, who knows? I mean, I'm going to WrestleMania this year. Hopefully, WrestleMania is not like 8 hours long or something like that. Again, we're not going for the pre-show. Not happening, guys. I'm sorry. Unless some big things happen on a pre-show, we're not going to be there in time for the pre-show. Not going to happen. We'll eat our Prince Street pizza first before we go to the pre-show. But yeah. So my grades again. I did this last year. I'll give my grades for each of the Rumble matches and then my overall grade for the show. I gave the women's Royal match an A-. Thought it did what it had to do, and I thought it was fun. The men's match was good, but again, they could have done a little better with some things. I gave it a B for the men's match, and the overall grade for the show, I gave it a B+. Again, I enjoyed it. Again, I know it was long, but factor that out of it, I still felt the matches did what I needed to do for the most part, of course. Let's see here. Let's check the live chat one more time. Let me see here. Yeah, I was so pissed again about Corbin being eliminated Black. Like Dan said, Mike, Jeff Jarrett with the strut and the gut. Yeah. That was all right for what it was. It wasn't even a spectacular elimination. I mean, it's Aleister freaking Black be a little bit creative for sure. New Universal Champion Seth freaking Rollins for sure. Johnny is already the biggest NXT surprise entrance for Larry, which is awesome. Did you say Paige, Mike? Paige here. Yeah, I said Paige. I missed Paige, definitely. I'm a big football guy either, but I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I'm going to dive into nachos that day. Nice. Me, it's going to be nachos or wings probably as well. The nachos are definitely yummy, especially with salsa. Can we please get Aleister Black versus Pete Dunne for the UK title before Aleister goes to the main roster? That could definitely be awesome because, again, I'm sure if they did that on the main roster, they would fuck it up for sure. So, yeah, definitely do that down there. I would have screamed so loud if Lars Sullivan would have been in there. Would have been nice, too. Naomi definitely has become the Kofi Kingston of the Rumble, although we got to give credit to Casey Catanzaro for well. Andrade Cien Almas should have at least eliminated Aleister Black. They do have a history, and Black is married to Zelina Vega. Lucky. Yeah, maybe that would have worked there. Or I would find like Randy Orton eliminate him. That way they could set up a feud between them. But of all people, Baron Corbin, like, come on. And Nia Jax can eliminate Mustafa Ali. Joe's probably going to surprise Mustafa and be like, oh, Ali, probably. I said before, I'll say it again. Braun Strowman is not the guy. Unfortunately, again, his time, WWE missed his opportunities again on him, and I do not know where he's going to go for WrestleMania. Ambrose versus Black doesn't sound bad. Dean would need to be a real lunatic fringe, though, for sure, definitely. I'm not like most cows. Nia Jax, for sure. Yeah, EC3 and Velveteen Dream not being there was a surprise. EC3 would have been great, at least number 3 for sure. This Lars thing is definitely depressing. Lars Sullivan media representative comments on rumors says Lars is in a good place. Lars wants everyone to know he is in a good place, and it's sorry to everyone he's disappointed. From the representative Lars. Did you say wings, Mike? Crispy, tangy, honey mustard barbecue flavor. Of course, for me, it is honey barbecue and parm gun flavor when it comes to Buffalo Wild Wings for sure. Will they please stop giving Leo Rush a microphone? I'm sure they're not going to at this point. Again, give the guy credit. He's awesome in the ring, but yeah, the microphone, he drives you crazy. At least he's still not always doing the Lashley chance. It's just fucking ridiculous for sure. But yeah, guys, thank you all for joining me in the live chat. Again, I gave the men's Rumble a B, women's Rumble an A-. The whole show in general B+. Once again, just so long. It's been a long night, guys, but it's 2:35 in the morning. I'm getting tired. I think I'm going to call it a night here. So, guys, I'll be up here live again for my live review of Monday Night Raw tomorrow. After the show, we'll see where we're going now that we are on the road to WrestleMania 35. Again, the road to WrestleMania that I will be in attendance. Thank you all again, everybody, for joining me live. I mean, I say all your names except for the ones who decided to make some rude comments to me that I had to, block. But, they happen. But yeah, guys, I'm checking out, guys. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, to more content to come to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my live Raw review, and also follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. And guys, have a great night. I will see you guys all later. Now we are on the road to WrestleMania 35. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.